This next video in our protein series is all about where to get protein. This is video 4 of our 5-part protein series, so make sure you go back and watch the other videos for all of the important protein information. Like we talked about in the last video, we know that animal sources are the best and easiest way to get quality protein into your diet. Meats like beef, fish, shellfish, game like buffalo or venison, pork and poultry, dairy products like milk, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, eggs, and even some plant food such as soy products like tofu, tempeh, edamame, lentils, and beans are all good sources of protein. So how can you get more protein in your diet? First, make sure each of your meals has a good source of protein. If you're having a piece of meat, think about the size of your palm of your hand or the deck of cards as your portion size. Next, snack on high protein foods like cheese, jerky, and Greek yogurt. Make sure to have a high protein breakfast. This is usually the hardest meal for most people to make sure that they're getting enough protein. If you think of our typical breakfast sources like bagels, cereal, toast, pancakes, waffles, muffins, these are all very poor protein sources. So better breakfast options would be eggs, a smoothie with added protein, Greek yogurt, oats with added protein, egg white pancakes, or you can use a higher protein pancake or waffle mix like Kodiak cake. Don't get too caught up in just sticking with breakfast foods either. Heck, you can have the leftovers for breakfast. It doesn't matter, just make sure that it's high in protein. Consider using a protein powder if you're struggling getting enough protein just through whole foods. Whey protein is best if you can tolerate dairy. Whey protein has one of the highest concentrations of that amino acid leucine. If you don't remember what I'm talking about, go back to the last video. You could also use things like powdered peanut butter, which is basically just dehydrated peanut butter with a lot of the fat taken out. So it's a much more concentrated protein source compared to regular peanut butter. You can use that to mix into smoothies, oatmeal, or even use it in baking. If you're having a salad, don't forget the protein. Make sure you throw in some grilled chicken or steak or salmon, whatever kind of protein source that you like into the salad. You can use canned fish like tuna as a backup meal idea. This is a great option because it can sit in your cupboard for a long time. Most of us don't get enough fish anyway, and it can make a really quick, delicious lunch. I'll link my favorite 5-minute avocado tuna salad recipe below. Consider preparing your protein source a couple days in advance. In my experience working with clients, the protein portion of a meal is always the hardest part. So if you have some kind of protein source prepped ahead of time, it's really easy to throw together a meal from there. I would only make enough to last for maybe 3 days or so you don't get sick of it. If it's something that you don't like, you're not wasting a ton of food, and you can still get a lot of variety in. Full meal prepping definitely isn't necessary, but if you have the protein ahead of time, you can usually combine that with a vegetable and carbohydrate and have for a really quick meal, and you can still get a lot of variety in that, changing up the vegetable and the carbohydrate source with each meal. Our final video in our protein series will answer the question, how much protein should you eat?